Many Joplin residents are preparing for next Tuesday's City Council meeting. I'm Kenny Foreman and I'll explain why coming up.
An Oklahoma library is preparing for a week-long historical conference. My name is Mitch Adams and I'll bring you more details on that story coming up.
Stella, Missouri can be the home of many different bald eagles, but this year, people have spotted one that is very different. I'm Ty Parks and I have the story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin residents will be paying close attention to next week's City Council meeting. This is KOAM News. I'm Blake Gully. KOAM's Kenny Foreman breaks down why the meeting is expected to stir controversy.
I'm standing on the corner of West 20th Street and Central City Road in Joplin. What you see behind me is 540 acres of land. At next Tuesday's City Council meeting, the city will hold a vote on whether to annex the land with the expectation that it will transform into a data center. The land is known as Wildwood Ranch. The involved parties cannot reveal the name of the data company that would utilize the data center. KOAM reached out to the city, but they will not provide comment until after the meeting. Some residents have expressed concern over the issue, citing a lack of communication from the city.
I think there needs to be some transparency. I feel like many residents feel like this was snuck up, and under the wire, like they were trying to pull a fast one on us. There is a feeling in the city of Joplin among residents of mistrust of the city government.
Another resident isn't entirely opposed to annexation, but believes the city is considering the wrong reasons for doing so.
Wildwood Ranch actually should be open up the retail, not industrial. You've got rest homes over here now. You've got a lot of residential in this neighborhood. This would be a great spot for a new McDonald's or Taco Bell, like over by Menards. This is more opportunity than just industrial out here.
In Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
So what exactly is a data center? These dedicated facilities house critical IT infrastructures such as servers, storage, and network equipment. Data centers provide the physical facilities for digital services like streaming, cloud computing, and support for AI. A number of factors have led to controversy surrounding data centers. Data centers can have an impact on the environment due to factors such as energy and water consumption. These demands can have an impact on local power grids and water systems, which are often shared with the surrounding community and can lead to an increase in utility costs. Data centers can also generate noise pollution and have low job creation. A special meeting will be held next Tuesday, January 20th at 5 p.m. and will be followed by a public hearing at 6. Meteorologist Austin Stans joins us with a first look at weather.
As we head into the evening hours, a little bit of cloud cover begins to move in. Can't completely rule out a flurry or two, especially off to our northeast. Notice temperatures still fairly mild even as we reach the midnight hour. But then as we head into the overnight, cold front passes. Temperatures take a dive out there. We're going to see that cold front pass and winds are going to be gusting anywhere about 25 miles per hour, maybe even 30 at times. Calming down early Saturday morning, but then picking back up Saturday afternoon into the evening hours. So heading out the door for your Saturday, look at this. Temperatures not really going anywhere most of the day. We don't make it out of the upper 20s for your Saturday. What's worse out there, temperatures going to feel like the single digits at time, going to be very cold out there. So we're going to be talking about sub-zero wind chills coming up, the windy weekend that I'm tracking, and a few flurries that could be on the way as well.
Thanks, Austin. Ottawa County's Rich Pass is set to be the focus of a historical conference in February. The Miami Public Library will be hosting the 5-day educational event. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
Local history buffs are about to go on a journey to the past. The upcoming Homegrown History Conference will feature stories of the past that shaped Ottawa County.
And so far we've had a pretty positive reaction from the community. We've had people that are very interested in history that don't have anywhere to go to kind of show that love. So we're excited for our history conference.
The 5-day conference will feature several guest presenters, each with a different historical topic to discuss.
Basically every day we have a different kind of topic that we're covering. So the first day is tribal. The second day is kind of environmental impacts in industry and how that affected us as we currently are. The third day focuses on Ottawa County in World War II. The fourth day is kind of just like the everyday lives of Ottawa County, the people, the stories that shaped Ottawa County. The fifth day and the final day, that covers preservation, learning how to kind of keep this history safe, how to preserve it, how to donate it, how to just make sure that this history stays around so that we can continue to talk about this.
From the tales of native tribes to the industries that made the area boom, Harvey hopes that the conference will act as an outlet for people interested in history to connect.
I hope that we can share our love of history. I hope that a lot of people that maybe are interested will learn things that they didn't know before.
In northeastern Oklahoma, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The Miami Public Library wanted to express thanks to the local businesses who have pledged to donate food for the conference. Coming up, doctors urge Kansas to get tested as multiple respiratory viruses circulate statewide.
Southeast Kansas has been seeing a small rise in respiratory illnesses. I'm Nellie Lopez with more details on that coming up.
But up first, President Trump unveils $50 billion plan to upgrade rural hospitals nationwide. Southeast Kansas is seeing a small increase of respiratory illnesses. KOAM's Nellie Lopez stopped by the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas to get an insight of what is spreading.
According to the CDC, there has been a rise in respiratory illness across the state of Kansas, but it's not something new to Southeast Kansas.
In terms of whether or not that's more numbers than normal, it seems like it's always pretty consistent during respiratory season, and it has been certainly this time, but it's still there. I know that I diagnosed quite a few COVID cases just the other day, 4 in one day, so it certainly is still around.
But COVID isn't the only thing going around. Kansas Department of Health and Environment show there has been an increase of influenza cases with the new year.
Respiratory illnesses kind of all come together. So we see COVID, we see flu, we see RSV, especially in kiddos, but then I've even had adults who have been hospitalized most recently with RSV, so it's certainly going around. So this is kind of the time of respiratory illness. So be aware, be diligent. If you are exposed to someone who has an illness, get yourself tested, get yourself seen.
Whether it's COVID or the common cold and flu, remember to take precautionary measures to protect yourself and others.
Especially if you've been exposed or you're feeling sick, it's best to stay home, self-isolate, and not possibly expose other people to any sort of virus that you might have. If you get, let's say, diagnosed with COVID in the early stages and you do have some risk factors for possibly worse disease, you can take a medication called remdesivir, which is a medication that we use to kind of help improve the symptoms of COVID and potentially decrease the risk of worse COVID outcomes.
In Pittsburgh, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
Dr. Emily Linhar mentions it's time to get a check by a professional once you start feeling fatigue and shortness of breath. People who survive traumatic injuries face a much greater risk of suicide. A study in Norway found patients' risk for self-harm is 9 times higher than average 2 years after experiencing a traumatic injury. Researchers say patients who suffer severe injuries should be monitored for signs of psychological distress. With health care expected to be a major issue for midterm voters, President Trump is trying to bring down costs. This week, he unveiled a new plan he says will lower drug prices and insurance premiums. Fox's Jared Helpner has more.
We are getting rural communities the health support they need.
President Trump is promoting a $50 billion program aimed at upgrading rural hospitals and increasing staffing levels. He says the funding, which was included in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, will benefit people in every state over the next 5 years.
Their life expectancy, if they're in a vulnerable situation, is 9 years shorter, because your zip code actually is your destiny.
Under pressure to address rising costs, the president is also asking Congress to take up his Great Health Care Plan. The framework focuses on lowering drug prices and insurance premiums and sending money directly to Americans for health savings accounts.
My plan ends the giant kickbacks to insurance brokers and corporate middlemen.
But the plan does not extend expired Obamacare subsidies that have left millions facing higher premiums, and it also does not account for people with pre-existing conditions.
There are bipartisan bills that if the president was interested in lowering the cost of health care, he could work with Democrats on.
It comes as a new AP poll finds just 14% of U.S. adults believe President Trump has helped address health care costs at least a little in his second term.
They're losing over subsidies that are actually raising the cost to consumers over time and definitely raising the cost to taxpayers.
The White House did not offer details on how much money the plan would send to consumers or whether funds would be available to all Obamacare enrollees. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Austin is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, Carthage Junior High students explore future careers at today's hands-on fair.
Well, if you have a heating blanket tucked away somewhere, closet, dresser, you're going to want to break it out for this weekend. This was the cold front that passed yesterday. Right behind here is our second cold front that passes this weekend, bringing some Arctic air. We're going to see an Arctic high develop behind that move in this weekend. Give us some sunshine, but don't let the skies fool you out there. It's going to be bitterly cold. Also, not ruling out the chance of just a brief flurry or two as we head into the overnight hours. Check this out. So here we go. We see some cloud cover move in earlier today. Now we're going to start to see the opportunity for just a little bit of moisture to get trapped aloft in these clouds, and that's going to give the chance for maybe a flurry or two, especially off to our north and east. So Nevada, Stockton, could you see a flurry or two tonight? Sure. Is it going to amount to anything? No, we're not going to see much out there, but take a look at how mild these temperatures still are by the midnight hour. Still near 31 degrees out there. But then that cold front passes. Cloud cover gets kicked out of the area. Temperatures taking a dive out there into the lower 20s overnight. We're going to drop to around 21 degrees tonight. A few flurries can't be completely ruled out. Wind chill is going to be 5-10 degrees. Going to be very cold. So the heating blanket, if you have one, plug that thing in tonight. We're going to see gusts around 30 miles per hour as we head into the evening and overnight hours. As we head into tomorrow, temperatures don't go anywhere. We're at 21 overnight, only making it up about 7 degrees for tomorrow for a high of 28. Skies will clear as we head into the afternoon. See gusts of around 25. That's going to feel like pins and needles on the face out there. But take a look at this. So here we are heading into our Saturday morning and afternoon. Again, temperatures really not making it out of the upper 20s. Some brief cloud cover, but that clears out as we head into the afternoon. Here comes that second cold front now. Temperatures heading down near single digits out there. Winds out of the northwest. Going to be very, very cold. Now, notice that winds do shift back out of the south Sunday at 6 a.m. here. A warm front will pass, but it's going to be a bitterly cold start. But then temperatures are going to rise rather quickly as we head into your Sunday. Now, take a look at this. Here's our feel-like temperature as we head into Sunday morning. -1 Nevada, 1 degree in Joplin, 0 in Springfield, 4 degrees in Bella Vista. That's what it's going to feel like on your skin. Frostbite, definitely possible in as little as 30 minutes. Now, here we are. Winds coming out of the northwest there as we head into our Saturday. But as we move our way into Sunday, that's when we're going to see our winds shift back out of the south Sunday, bringing in that warm front for us. Warmer air will be on the way Sunday, but not until the afternoon. Check this out, 44 degrees. So we start around 10 degrees and we go up 34. Holy cow. Back down to 33 on Monday. Take a look as we head into the middle part of the week. 46 on Tuesday, Wednesday 43. Tracking our next system during the late week with the potential of a few showers by the weekend.
Coming up next, the high price of copper has thieves ready to strike.
Copper prices are hitting all-time highs and thieves are taking notice. That story next.
Students at a Carthage Junior High got a hands-on look at future opportunities during today's career fair. More than 35 community vendors filled the building, introducing students to careers ranging from technical trades to public service and healthcare. Before the event, students completed a career aptitude test that matched them to pathways and suggested booths to visit, helping them focus on jobs connected to their interests and strengths.
A good learning experience on how to get started, basic level, entry level positions, and then you kind of grow from there. A lot of kids have asked about a college degree. Don't necessarily have to have a college degree to start. It helps, but kind of give you a good starting point of a career-oriented task.
The school says community support makes the event possible, giving students direct access to the people, skills, and opportunities shaping their future. The price of copper remains near a record high, and investors are not only the ones taking notice. Copper theft is on the rise, creating headaches and serious safety issues in Los Angeles. Fox Business correspondent Max Gordon is there with the story.
A copper thief knocking out the street lights in this Los Angeles neighborhood. You can see the wires sticking out of this light stand here. Over the years, the city of Los Angeles says that thousands of street lights have suffered this same fate. And recently, high copper prices have enticed more thieves. Copper prices are up more than 36% over the last year. Someone selling high-quality copper to a recycler could get more than $4.50 per pound. And while metal recyclers are a key part of the copper industry, they're also where thieves go to convert their stolen copper into cash. We talked to the owner of a metal recycler who told us that along with required steps to document who the seller is, he also asks questions to sniff out anything suspicious.
Problem is, people think that we're in cahoots with all these crooks that are bringing stolen material, and we're gladly buying it. And again, here I am, business owner. I am totally against it. I will not buy knowingly 1 pound of stolen material.
Here in Los Angeles, copper theft is rampant. The city's iconic 6th Street Bridge infamously had more than 7 miles of its copper wire ripped out by thieves, costing the city $2.5 million in repairs. LAPD even formed a so-called heavy metal task force to try to crack down on copper-related crime and other forms of vandalism. In 2024, they made more than 100 arrests and recovered thousands of pounds of stolen copper wire. That's according to city officials. It's also a national problem. According to the FBI, non-precious metal theft, which includes copper, has been on the rise for the past several years. In 2024, there are more than 21,000 cases in the U.S. The Internet and Television Association, whose members have been hit with copper theft vandalism, is advocating for federal legislation.
You have people who are going to see prices spike on something like copper and try to take it even when there's no copper in the network. But we have to do as much as we can every step of the way to make it as difficult as possible for them to succeed, and to know that if they do that, they've got to recognize the real consequences.
Meanwhile, a new law just went into effect here in California requiring scrap metal buyers to record additional information about their transactions. Still, the copper theft continues. In Los Angeles, Max Gordon, Fox Business.
A beloved symbol returns to North St. Louis. The city's only public statue of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stands ready for rededication after months of painstaking restoration. The bronze figure was toppled when an EF3 tornado ripped through the city last May. Renowned sculptor Bob Rocca donated thousands of dollars in work to bring the icon back to life.
It sheared all 4 bolts off. Just sheared them right off. So something big hit it. The hand was gone. The head, I had to literally cut half of the head off because it had a dent that was probably 4 inches deep. Big split across its back. The base was broken in half.
The Incarnate Word Foundation and Regional Arts Commission provided $9,800 for repairs. The total value doubles that amount. Community leaders say the restoration gives residents hope for a wider recovery in North St. Louis. United Airlines now lets economy passengers pre-order fresh meals like burgers on flights over 1,190 miles via its app and website. Starting March 1st, fresh meals will be available only for pre-order, helping reduce food waste by over 100,000 pounds annually. More meal options are coming this summer, and as United enhances choices and sustainability on board. Popcorn lovers can score big deals over National Popcorn Day on Monday. AMC Theaters offers a free large popcorn with purchase of its $29.99 popcorn pass through Monday. Cinemark teams with Lowe's for a bring your own bucket deal. Get up to 400 ounces for $5+ tax on Sunday and Monday. Regal gives free large popcorn Monday if you come dressed in a costume. Coming up next, Families make annual pilgrimage to Stella to witness majestic bald eagles in flight. People are flocking to Stella, Missouri in hopes of snapping a pic of a rare bald eagle. KOAM's Ty Parks learns they're bringing patience with them as they try to catch a glimpse.
It's no secret, if you want to spot a bald eagle in southwest Missouri, you're headed to Stella.
We come every year. We love to come and see them. They're just so majestic in the trees, and sometimes we see hundreds and sometimes we don't see very many, but it's just great to see them. It's awesome.
Coming to see the eagles are a family tradition.
I brought my mother the year before she passed, and we came up over a hill, and there were about 100 sitting right there by the road, by the tree. And I mean, that's just so awe-inspiring to see. But you can go back to that same spot, and they may never be there again. So it's just kind of the thrill of the hunt.
People are driving to see a very special bird out there, a leucistic bald eagle.
So leucism is a genetic condition that causes partial loss of pigmentation. So some of their feathers just don't have any color. It's a little bit different than albinism or being albino, because that is a complete loss of pigmentation. So it's just partially they don't have any pigment.
So I thought it would be worth trying to at least get a shot of it like that. Haven't had much luck yet. Yeah.
And they share their tips on how to spot the bald eagles, even if you're not looking specifically for the white one.
They hunt for fish a lot of times. So a lot of times they're looking for something like that, or maybe like there might be a pond that there's, like ducks, things like that sometimes.
It's also about knowing where to look.
And also when they're in trees, they're usually on a top of a branch that usually reaches out a little ways. They're not, every once in a while they're tucked in, but most of the time you'll see them at the edges of a tree more.
In Stella, Missouri, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The Missouri Department of Conservation will hold eagle watching tours. Check out their website for more details. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
The protests in Iran are dying down, but President Trump says he's still considering using the military. I'm Greg Palcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
The tug-of-war continues over Greenland as President Trump says he may slap tariffs on countries who don't support the U.S. taking over the territory. I'm Connor Hansen in New York. I'll have the latest coming up.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
Trump administration officials are watching developments in Iran closely after the regime promised to stop executing protesters. But President Trump still isn't ruling out the use of military force. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more from London.
The quicker the action happens, the more lives can be saved, and the sooner we can see the regime's collapse.
The leader of Iran's democratic opposition is urging action from President Trump as the regime ramps up its crackdown on protesters. The streets of Tehran were quiet for the second straight day on Friday. The protests that had rocked the country for more than a week now largely tapering off as security forces make thousands of arrests. Now resistance leaders are calling on the president to take military action to show the protesters America is on their side.
I believe the president is a man of his word. But as I said before, regardless of whether action is taken or not, we as Iranians have no choice to carry on the fight.
But Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said Thursday the White House now prefers a diplomatic solution, though a carrier strike group is still on the way to the Middle East, and the president is refusing to rule out airstrikes if Iran's government resumes killing protesters.
When he gives his word, he executes. And that is simply to hold the people that are accountable for what they have done to their own citizens.
But Iran's neighbors, including U.S. allies like Turkey and Saudi Arabia, are warning that any military action carries a significant risk to the world economy.
Iran has amazing naval assets which control the outflow of oil in the Persian Gulf, and that is extremely worrisome to our Gulf partners.
The Israeli military now says it's prepared for both offensive and defensive operations if the U.S. decides to strike Iran. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
The man accused of murdering conservative influencer Charlie Kirk appeared in a Utah court today. Tyler James Robinson faces multiple charges, including aggravated murder for allegedly shooting Kirk during a September rally at Utah Valley University last month. Robinson's attorney filed a motion to disqualify the Utah County Attorney's Office, citing a conflict of interest involving a deputy attorney connected to a witness. Robinson's 3-day preliminary hearing begins May 18th with the arraignment following afterwards. President Trump says he could put tariffs on countries who oppose his plan to take over Greenland. The comment comes as a group of lawmakers travels to Denmark to try to de-escalate the situation. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has the details.
They may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security.
President Trump not backing down on his push for the U.S. to take over Greenland, the semi-autonomous territory of NATO ally Denmark. The tariff threat comes as a bipartisan congressional delegation visits Copenhagen, attempting to reassure Danish leaders.
So that we can lower the temperature and have a more constructive dialogue about the best path forward.
When you ask the American people whether or not they think it is a good idea for the United States to acquire Greenland, the vast majority, some 75%, will say, we do not think that that is a good idea.
President Trump says the territory is crucial for U.S. national defense and will be key to his planned Golden Dome missile defense system. Its strategic location would also counter threats from Russia and China as warming temperatures open up new sea lanes in the Arctic. Greenland is also rich with key rare earth minerals.
The reason this is urgent is because the Chinese and the Russians are making inroads. They want to be in Greenland.
You never appreciate keeping the wolf or the bear from your door until they're knocking on it.
Danish and Greenlandic leaders say they are not willing to give up the territory, but are willing to help bolster security there. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Austin is next with a complete look at the forecast.
Delivering video game content on television has had some mixed responses, but Team Liquid is looking to change all that with a curated channel. I'm Eamon Dignam in New York. I have the details coming up.
Well, if you have a heating blanket tucked away somewhere, closet, dresser, you're going to want to break it out for this weekend. This was the cold front that passed yesterday. Right behind here is our second cold front that passes this weekend, bringing some Arctic air. We're going to see an Arctic high develop behind that move in this weekend. Give us some sunshine, but don't let the skies fool you out there. It's going to be bitterly cold. Also, not ruling out the chance of just a brief flurry or two as we head into the overnight hours. Check this out. So here we go. We see some cloud cover move in earlier today. Now we're going to start to see the opportunity for just a little bit of moisture to get trapped aloft in these clouds, and that's going to give the chance for maybe a flurry or two, especially off to our north and east. So Nevada, Stockton, could you see a flurry or two tonight? Sure. Is it going to amount to anything? No, we're not going to see much out there, but take a look at how mild these temperatures still are by the midnight hour. Still near 31 degrees out there. But then that cold front passes. Cloud cover gets kicked out of the area. Temperatures taking a dive out there into the lower 20s overnight. We're going to drop to around 21 degrees tonight. A few flurries can't be completely ruled out. Wind chill is going to be 5-10 degrees. Going to be very cold. So the heating blanket, if you have one, plug that thing in tonight. We're going to see gusts around 30 miles per hour as we head into the evening and overnight hours. As we head into tomorrow, temperatures don't go anywhere. We're at 21 overnight, only making it up about 7 degrees for tomorrow for a high of 28. Skies will clear as we head into the afternoon. See gusts of around 25. That's going to feel like pins and needles on the face out there. But take a look at this. So here we are heading into our Saturday morning and afternoon. Again, temperatures really not making it out of the upper 20s. Some brief cloud cover, but that clears out as we head into the afternoon. Here comes that second cold front now. Temperatures heading down near single digits out there. Winds out of the northwest. Going to be very, very cold. Now, notice that winds do shift back out of the south Sunday at 6 a.m. here. A warm front will pass, but it's going to be a bitterly cold start. But then temperatures are going to rise rather quickly as we head into your Sunday. Now, take a look at this. Here's our feel-like temperature as we head into Sunday morning. -1 Nevada, 1 degree in Joplin, 0 in Springfield, 4 degrees in Bella Vista. That's what it's going to feel like on your skin. Frostbite, definitely possible in as little as 30 minutes. Now, here we are. Winds coming out of the northwest there as we head into our Saturday. But as we move our way into Sunday, that's when we're going to see our winds shift back out of the south Sunday, bringing in that warm front for us. Warmer air will be on the way Sunday, but not until the afternoon. Check this out, 44 degrees. So we start around 10 degrees and we go up 34. Holy cow. Back down to 33 on Monday. Take a look as we head into the middle part of the week. 46 on Tuesday, Wednesday 43. Tracking our next system during the late week with the potential of a few showers by the weekend.
Thanks, Austin. Still ahead, sports director Ryan Blank has Friday night basketball highlights from around the area.
The high school basketball season continues to dominate the slate here in the 4 states with Friday's action including a CNC doubleheader, an interstate battle, and more. Tipping it off at Carl Junction with the Bulldogs hosting the Colgan Panthers. First quarter, Audrey Besprat swings it cross court to Nevaeh Triplett, who drives baseline, fighting through contact for the bucket, plus a foul. Later in the first half, the Bulldogs defense makes a play with Besprat diving for the loose ball and getting it to JC Hocutt, who goes on the run and scores the easy fast break layup. Carl Junction would lead after 3 quarters. Let's go to the fourth. Colgan down by 1 here. Jakayla Davis going to work, splitting 2 defenders on the dribble and sinking the floater. Panthers take the lead. Couple possessions later, Colgan now leading by 2, swinging the ball around, getting it to the wing to Mariella Gilmore, who sinks the 3. The freshman connecting on 6 triples and finishing with 23 points in this one. Panthers come from behind to take down the Bulldogs, 61-52 the final. Panthers boys squad eyeing 9th straight win, facing the Bulldogs. Off the opening tip, Brady Crossland finds Jane Brown, who goes baseline, kicking it to Joe Lomschek in the corner, and he drains the triple. Panthers strike first. Carl Junction has a response though. Going to Bryant Hanks, and the sophomore looks to drives, gets to the lane, spins, and gets the shot to go. Bulldogs finding a rhythm. The defense was active early on too. Off this long pass, it's Cooper Vitas poking the ball free, and in transition, he'll find the senior guard JoJo Ballard, and Ballard scores a layup plus a foul for the and one. CJ taking over. But here comes Colgan. Brady Crossland finds the lane. He'll stutter step and score the lay-in with the foul for the old-fashioned 3-point play, but the Bulldogs beat the Panthers, splitting the doubleheader with a 76-65 win. The Webb City Cardinals hitting the road to take on Hillcrest. Early first quarter, Hornets James Collins with the steal. He can't finish off the glass, but Jalen Jones does with the two-handed slam on the putback. Hornets would lead by 12 later in the quarter, but Webb City's fighting back. Grayson Smith dives for the ball. He passes it off to Jackson Adams, who on the same possession follows it up with a 3 to tie the game. He had 13 points on the night. Hillcrest has some luck on their side, though. You're about to see it. Jalen Jones driving. He's going to lose grip of the ball, but somehow you'll see it knocks off the backboard and in. He can't believe it. Nobody can. And the Hornets have a double-digit lead again in the second half. Cardinals come back again, down by 2 here. This takeaway leads to a Trey Turner jumper to tie it back up, but that won't be enough for Webb City. Hillcrest holds off the Webb City rally, defeats the Cardinals 56-51. On the Kansas side, it's a CNC battle between Baxter Springs and Columbus. Early first quarter, Titans moving the ball around, finding Natalie Wary on the wing, and the juniors' 3 is nothing but net to extend their lead. Moving to the second quarter, this one now tied up. It's going to be the Lions in transition. In this layup, it's not going to go, but Malia Avery collects the board, and she scores on the second chance opportunity. Then in the quarter, Columbus leading by 2, showcasing more strong ball movement with Trinity Green's stop and pop mid-range jumper, rattling in and home for the bucket. This one going back and forth in the first half. Baxter with a response. Avery drawing the double team down low, kicking out to Kirsten Berggraf, who nails the triple, but it's the Titans picking up the road win 41-26 over the Lions. The Lions and Titans boys squad looking for a bounce back win in the nightcap. First quarter, this one tied. Baxter looking to tie it, and this triple won't go. But an offensive rebound sets up Logan Abbott from deep, and he nails the tray to tie it up. Next possession, Lions looking for the lead this time. Cole Parrish drives, and he'll kick it to Abbott with the drive and dish, who finds a soft spot in the defense, hitting the jumper. But here comes Columbus. In transition, it's Jonas Stover swinging it to Carter Woodcock, and he flies down the lane for the layup. Later in the quarter, you're going to see Woodcock again. He's going on the run, passing it to Jex Cheney in the corner, who goes baseline, and his floater will go with the shooter's touch off the front iron as the Titans complete the sweep, edging Baxter Springs 48-46. That's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
Esports is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but selling it to the masses has been tough until now. Fox's Eamon Dignam has more in this week's edition of our Fox on Game series.
Delivering esports to the masses has been a challenge, unless you watch on YouTube or Twitch. But Team Liquid is expanding past those platforms with a partnership with high-end production company Mirage Digital to bring their content to free ad-supported streaming TV channels, sometimes called fast channels.
I would say the expansion of the audience in general, what we're really being able to capture on this fast channel is a completely different audience.
Their first event on the fast channel takes place in World of Warcraft. It's called Race to the World First, where players group together and race to be the first to beat a series of difficult bosses and tasks. It was a major hit on the platform.
The content just speaks for itself, and we've been able to go in and be able to create just completely different content that's ever been seen before, utilizing this library.
And the feedback they're getting is overwhelmingly positive so far.
Like, it's definitely showing that there is an audience for this, again, outside of the normal expected platforms.
People are always replying, commenting, wow, this is awesome. Didn't know we could watch it here for free as well. And that's something that's super engaging for people that aren't necessarily always on YouTube or always on Twitch.
And they're not done yet. They're reaching out to other streaming platforms, so keep an eye out on your TV service for the Team Liquid channel. Team Liquid continues to host the Race to the World First event on their Fast channel. They say to keep looking for other high-profile events to run live. You can check out the full interview on the Fox on Games podcast wherever you download podcasts. In New York, Eamon Dignam, Fox News.
Up next, Harry Styles announces a new album as Hollywood delivers fresh trailers and premieres. A popular foul-mouthed teddy bear returns and a popular superstar has something new on the way. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has all of those stories in Hollywood's Nation.
Please. A monster makeover, Ted gets in more trouble, and Styles shares news in the Hollywood Nation. Harry Styles is ready to drop new music. The Grammy-winning pop star announced his fourth studio album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. The 12-track release arrives March 6th.
Welcome home.
Lieutenant Joe Leaphorn chases a dangerous mystery in today's first looks. AMC released the trailer for Dark Winds Season 4, following Leaphorn, Jim Chi, and Bernadette Manuelito as they search for a missing Navajo girl. The investigation takes them from the Navajo Nation into 1970s Los Angeles, where they race to stop a killer with ties to organized crime. The series returns February 15th.
Get back here! Run, Johnny! Munchies!
Ted is back and still causing trouble in the trailer for Season 2. Set in 1994, the comedy prequel follows the foul-mouthed teddy bear and his best friend John Bennett as they navigate senior year of high school, family pressure, and the chaos of growing up. Peacock's hit series returns March 5th. Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale lead a fresh take on a monster classic in the trailer for The Bride, a reimagining of The Bride of Frankenstein, directed and co-written by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Buckley stars as the bride, a woman brought back to life by Frankenstein's monster, played by Bale. The two form a dark, unconventional romance in 1930s Chicago. The cast also includes Annette Bening, Penelope Cruz, Peter Sarsgaard, and Jake Gyllenhaal. It arrives in theaters March 6th.
The dead have got something to say, and I'm saying it.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of animals at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago enjoying leftover Christmas trees. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.